So I'm in the process of putting together my 30 days of dry food preps. And part of that process has been getting all of the dry goods, everything ready to go. It's been sitting in my house for far too long, and my buckets have finally arrived, and I'm ready to get everything into the buckets. Today I'm involving the family as best I can. We're gonna get the stuff into the buckets. We're just gonna do the rice, and then we'll move on to the other stuff as we have time for it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we have 34 pounds in each one of these buckets. So one of the things that I've been wanting to do with this whole prepping thing has been to involve the family, involve the kids a little bit more. They're just used to getting food from the pantry. They're used to getting food from this grocery store and from restaurants. The idea of like having food prepped and stored away is kind of an interesting idea, especially like in this quantity. Like the number of times the kids said like, wow, that's a lot of beans, or wow, that's a lot of rice, or whatever. It's kind of shocking to them. It's kind of out of the ordinary for sure. As I go through this, just letting them see what's happening and treating this as just making it a normal part of their experience and a normal part of their life. So that way, when or if we were ever needing to tap into this stuff, that it wouldn't be something where they're like, uncertain, or it's weird for them that they've never seen it before. Just trying to kind of normalize all of this for them. All right, we got the rice and we're good to go. We weren't without casualty. We definitely spilled some rice, but we have got our rice filled up into our 6 buckets here, 200 pounds of rice, all ready to go. Next step, we're gonna start sealing these guys up. All right, so let's get our oxygen absorbers, which I've got stored inside this rice. Another thing you can do is you can cut out the instructions and nutrition facts out of the back of the bag. Whoa! Don't drop a knife into your lap that is open. That's a bad idea. Anyway, you can stick these guys inside of the containers. That way when you open them up, you have your instructions there, you know what's in there, you have the nutrition facts. All right, we're gonna take a peek at the nutrition facts, figure out exactly how many days each one of these buckets should last one person. 250 servings divided by the 25 pounds, that's 10. Let's multiply it by the 34 pounds that are actually in the bucket. So 340 servings are actually in this bucket here. Now let's multiply that by the number of calories per serving, 150, and that gives us 51,000 calories in the bucket. Now, if we divide it out by the 2,700 calories per day, that gives us 18.88 days for everything that's in this bucket. Now we know that in each one of these buckets, we have enough food for one person to last just over 18 days. And that's great, but what I want to figure out now is across these 200 pounds of rice, across these 6 buckets, how many days will we actually be able to get out of this particular prep? So let's take the 51,000 calories per bucket and multiply it by the 6 buckets that I've got. That gives us 306,000 calories divided by the 2,700 calories per day. So for one person, it'd be just over 113 days, but I've got 8 people, so let's divide that by 8, and that gives us just over 14 days for the whole family.
What do we write?
All right, rice.
How do you spell rice?
Okay, what's the first letter?
R. I. S.
Close. What else makes a sound sometimes?
C.
Yep. I don't know how to explain it, but it's an E. C-E makes a S sound. So obviously we got our rice labeled here. We have our date that it was packaged up. High five. All right, so tell me, what's your name?
My name is Cole, and his name is Mike.
My name's Mike. And what did we do here today?
We were filling up the buckets.
And what's in the buckets?
Rice.
Rice! You like rice better or beans better?
Beans better.
Yeah, because you like the way that Mama makes beans?
Yes.
She's like the best at making them, huh?
Uh-huh.
Who's gonna clean this up? Are you gonna clean it up?
We're both gonna clean it up.
That sounds good. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's clean up this rice and have some fun.
Have some fun and see you soon.